What is up, car addicts? Welcome to the off-road capability testing for the new Karin Everon. This is an update to my off-road capability testing series where I've tested the majority of off-road capable vehicles in GTA Online. I will leave the link to a playlist down below in the pinned comment where you will find all the other vehicles I have done already so that you can compare. Before we start, if you have any questions as to how each obstacle is scored, please refer to a tutorial video which is linked at the top of the pinned comment. Also remember that the most updated spreadsheet with all of the off-road capability scores for vehicles I have tested so far will also be in the pinned comment as well, along with the other brands as well. The following points for each obstacle will be out of 10 possible points. The Everon is fully customized with the exception of the bumpers, side skirts, exhaust, and suspension options that have been separately selected to provide maximum ground clearance. Again, if you have any questions as to how each of these obstacles are scored in full detail, please refer to tutorial video which is linked at the top of the pinned comment. Starting off with the incline test from a flat surface, the Everon is good, but it just lacks the power to go higher up. It gets a 5 out of 10. In stage 2 of this test, where it's started at an angled position, it gets a 4 out of 10. If we take both those scores, we get an average of 4.5 for the incline test. Next, we have the dirt incline test. The Everon is good at climbing steep inclines, however, it has an issue where it likes to wheelie a lot while climbing, causing it to lose traction and kind of fall off the mountains and stuff. It's kind of annoying, so the best way to go up steep inclines is to throttle control. In this test, it still makes it to the top, which gives it a 10 out of 10. Dirt braking is very good. It stops just right behind the last red block, so according to the markers, it gets a 10 out of 10. Rock crawling for the Everon is absolutely amazing. No hesitation whatsoever, and very good ground clearance on top of that. Throughout 3 obstacles, it bottoms out a total of only 2 times. Usually most vehicles do 3, so man, it gets a really good 8 out of 10. And in stage 2 of this test, which is subjectively scored, again, it has no hesitation and very good ground clearance. It gets a 10 out of 10. If we take both those scores, we get an average of 9 out of 10 for the rock crawling test, which is very, very good. Powertrain is excellent. No wheel spin at all. The only other vehicle I've tested so far that has no wheel spin in this test is the trophy truck. So that just goes to show how good this thing is. It gets a well-deserved 10 out of 10 for this test. Next up, we have the bumper clearance test. It has extremely good bumper clearance, except for that rear tow hook. Regardless, it does not scrape at all on this test, and it gets a 10 out of 10. Suspension travel is pretty average. According to the markers, it gets a 6 out of 10. It has those very big tires, but just needs more suspension travel. High-speed stability is decent, not as smooth as I would have hoped. I can't give it more than a 7 out of 10. I think this has to do with the suspension travel as well, something mixed between the two. This truck has very large tires, but it just needs more suspension travel. Next up, we have deep water testing. In stage 1, it makes it to the end, which gives it a 10 out of 10. In stage 2, which is the deeper side, it makes it to the end as well, which gives it again a 10 out of 10. If we take both those scores, we get an average of 10 for the deep water test. And finally, we have the dirt acceleration test. This path is exactly a quarter mile long. Using the handbrake launch, it gets a very impressive high 12-second quarter mile. This gives it an 8 out of 10. Added all together, and the off-road capability score is 84.5 out of 100. It mainly struggles with its suspension travel and incline test. It's a more large tire than good suspension travel, which is just very unfortunate. If it would have had better suspension travel, it would have had a chance of beating the Camacho score. So if we compare the Everon to all the off-road class vehicles I've tested so far, that places it here in 5th place, right behind the Camacho. This puts it in the top 5 best all-road off-roaders, which is just amazing. Now if we compare it to all the vehicles I've tested so far from all the different classes, including SUVs and other classes, that places it here still in 5th place as well. Keep in mind that these positions may change as I test more manufacturers and newer cars release. I will also be testing the Vagrant later on, so stay on the lookout for that. So all in all, the Everon is one of the best choices for off-roading, as its 5th place position proves. The Everon also has very good customization. At this point I would say to buy it. However, its price of about $1.5 million, that's just ridiculous. The Camacho that can outperform it costs only $345,000, and it has even better customization on top of that in my opinion. So, the prices have just gotten way out of hand, and I think you would thoroughly enjoy the Camacho a lot more than the Everon, while saving over $1 million at the same time. Well, that's it guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, if you'd like to see the other videos and other vehicles I've tested so far and how the new Karin Everon compares to all the other ones, I will link a playlist down below in the pinned comment, as well as a spreadsheet which will contain the most updated breakdown and scores for all vehicles in one place. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.